And welcome back to the start of a brand new What If. Brand new Dragon Ball What If, or non-Naruto one. It was just Dragon Ball 1. Don't worry, there will be non-Dragon Ball Naruto What Ifs that happen for the long-term What Ifs. Again, it's just a matter of, who came first in the order of people giving suggestions. Now, there's only, as far as I can tell, only one person ever gave me this request. And unfortunately, I forgot the name of the person. I'll be sure to put it in the description box below, the name of the person. But this is actually, look, I get a lot of people who ask me, what if you married Suno? Or what if you married Bulma? Or what if you married this or that? But this is actually a question we don't think on very much and the impact it would have. What if Goku didn't get married? It's actually an interesting question because it changes a fundamental part of the story. No Gohan. And no, we're not going to do the whole argument where, we could have had a kid with someone he hooked up with. Is that really Goku's mentality? Just be randomly hooking up and getting laid? So no. And before anyone even brings it up, because I know there'll be someone who brings it up, it's not what if Goku didn't get married to Chi-Chi. No, this is what if Goku didn't get married. So there isn't any possibility for him to get married to Suno, Bulma, 18, Launch. And you're like, no, Goku does not get married no matter what in this version. So luckily, this actually takes place pretty much at the tail end of Dragon Ball, so we can actually start in Z. So Goku, and it actually has to start with the fight between Goku and Chi-Chi. So when Goku and Chi-Chi have their fight, Chi-Chi goes, I'm Chi-Chi, the Ox King's daughter. It's like, I remember now, I said I wanted a wife. You don't understand. I thought wife was something to eat. It's like, and she's disappointed. And unlike before, it's like Goku's like, I don't know much of this, but I know what my heart wants. Chi-Chi, will you marry me? Instead of that, it's like Goku does apologize for misleading her, and she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm not looking to get married or anything like that. I'm unfortunately, I'm just not interested in that. But I mean, we can still, be friends, which, it sucks. I very, very briefly, I feel bad for anyone who says that because most of the time, if I've ever had to say that, I genuinely mean that. But because of the stigma of, oh God, the hurt of the friend zone and all that, it just, anyone who wants to be friends, but has to say that it's in a losing battle no matter what, because it's just going to hurt regardless. Anyway, so yeah, Chi-Chi's like, she's upset, and she'll get over it eventually, and she'll probably find someone. Bulma even has to give him a smack. It's like, you idiot. It's like, what? It's like, you never tell a woman that. But besides that, everything else in Dragon Ball goes the same. He beats Piccolo, great, whatnot. But now we have a big change. Goku still lives in the house that, he lived in lives in Gohan's house. He doesn't live in the house that him and Chi-Chi lived in, because if I'm not mistaken, that was given to them or bought for them by the Ox King. But Gohan did have a small place of his own that Goku does live at, because that's where Goku was living at the time when they found him. So Goku's been living there. But now we have a 5-year gap between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So what happens there? Well, because Goku's just living on his own, he's not trying to farm, he's not raising a kid, he's not trying to be a husband, and all the while trying to train. No, he's pretty much just focused on living his life in training. So you would get a significantly stronger Goku in this by the time Z rolls around. But I also think he would actually go out of his way to actually hang out with Krillin, Tien, Yamcha on a more regular basis and get some training with them, which results in everyone being a fair degree to significant degree stronger. So how strong are they? Well, let's start with the weakest. We don't know what Chaozu's base is. We know Chaozu's power level is 694 by the time the Saiyans arrive. But I've gone over before. Chaozu's not really a martial artist. His power lies in his psychic abilities more. So Chaozu's kind of irrelevant for this right now. But Chaozu's probably a little bit stronger. But Yamcha, we know, had a power level 177 thanks to the Scouter rating. The official power level rating. Krillin was 205, with Tien coming at 250. Goku's power suppressed with was the way training clothes was 3. Oh God, I know it came out to 412 with his full power, without the clothes on. I believe it was 310 or 308, something like that. Something very low 300, very low 400s when it was all said and done. if you add in the fact that they're all going to get extra training, and Goku's going to particularly be spending most of his time training now, not just with a wife and a kid, going from weakest to strongest, Yamcha is actually going to be probably in the weakest spot with about 250, which actually is a pretty big increase, but he actually has a lot more time to train. Albeit, he's also kind of, stuck in a relationship, he's in a relationship with Bulma. So there is that little caveat, but I still think 250 is pretty reasonable. Excuse me. Krillin, I think, actually is at a solid 300, with Tien actually hitting a 350. Now, one thing before we talk about Goku we have to address is Piccolo. Piccolo's still out there, but nothing about the way he was training changes. So Piccolo's power level stays the same, with his full power being 408, if I'm not mistaken. But what about Goku? So with Goku, I feel comfortable enough to say with 5 years training, all that, I feel like Goku's full power is around 700 when it's all said and done. He's had time to train more Roshi, Krillin, Tien, and train on his own, push himself. So 700 at his base is good. His weighted training clothes seem to suppress, roughly speaking, about a quarter of his full power. So, do the math on that real quick. You're looking at 175. Goku's power suppress is 525, which is actually significant. Because when Raditz finally comes to Earth, he senses out the closest power level. That's Piccolo initially. Piccolo tries to blast him, but to no avail. Then he sees it's Kakarot's power level, which is much higher at 525. And he's actually kind of impressed by that. But you've gotten pretty strong, Kakarot. Now, this is also different because is Goku at Kami's house with the gang? I would say yes. I think they still have that get together. They probably do have these like every now and then. So yeah, they have a get together. Except Tien is also there. Yamcha's not there. I think he's busy with it because he's also a baseball player for a living. That's what he does. But I think Tien is also there. Krillin's there. They're all chatting, and they sense Radz's power level. And all like, whoa! And they, I finally found you, Kakarot. Who are you? It's like, I'm your brother. Don't you remember? Did you eat your head as a child? Well, yeah, actually. And obviously, because let me take care of this, Goku. Listen, buddy, Goku's brother or not, you can't just come in here and boom, and just bitch smacks scrolling around. And obviously, Raditz and him he gut checks Goku, but Goku's like, but he's in bad shape because he's actually pretty decently stronger. And I was like, I'll be waiting in my ship. I'll give you 100. I'll give you an hour to kill 100 people. And so he heads back to the ship. Now, he doesn't kidnap Gohan. There's no immediate urge to go after him. They have an hour, and obviously Goku's not going to do that. So actually, what I think they do is like, okay, we got to stop this guy because we sensed how powerful this guy is. Like, I'm glad you agree with that, Goku. Look, I don't like you and you don't like me. I don't hate you. He's like, you don't like me. But it's like, look, if I'm going to rule this world, I can't have some interloper getting in the way. I'm saying I need your help and you need mine. So is it a deal, Goku? It's like, fine. Very well. And then all of a sudden, Nimbus! And then he gets the flying Nimbus. It's like, Krillin, and hop on. It's like, well, I don't really know if I can ride Nimbus. It's actually a good question. Do you think Krillin could ride Nimbus? I don't think he could. And it's really not because Krillin isn't a very good guy. It's just because even young Krillin, though things change, admittedly. Roshi used to be able to ride Nimbus, and he no longer can. So, Krillin, as we meet him in Dragon Ball Z at the beginning, he's gotten over that juvenile crap, like with the porno mags and stuff. For the sake of argument for this video, I'll just say you can ride the Nimbus. I think Krillin's a good enough guy that he could ride Nimbus. Granted, he is a little perverted, but what are you gonna do? Especially when you got a woman like Android 18, and even Marin was pretty attractive, Bulma light, if you will. But he's like, go to Krillin, go to Goran's lookout and get some senzu beans. We're gonna need them. And so Krillin, buzzes off. Luckily, because Nimbus is so fast, it doesn't take them that long. They get a bag of senzus. All right, we're going with you, Goku. There's no question about it. Right. Besides, we can't trust you alone with Piccolo. I was like, please. I was like, whatever. And weirdly enough, Tien's like, if you even try to backstab him, we will kill you. He's like, I'd like to see you try. Plus, if I were to kill him, you can't kill me. The Dragon Balls wouldn't work after that. And Tien's just like, whatever. Because it's like, crap, he's got a point. And keep in mind, too, Tien's actually at base power-wise, he is stronger than Piccolo and his suppressed power at the moment. Now, obviously, Piccolo is the stronger of the two, all out, but still. So they all fly off, and Raditz is waiting, saying, he eats that bird. No, not bad. Next time I'll have to cook the meat. I would love that. I love a blooper reel of that where, during the battle, he gets salmonella poisoning, is just crapping behind the ship all day. I'll kill you momentarily, Crapperot. Oh, God. So you've got, so, have you killed the 100 humans I've requested of you, Kakarot? Well, given your power level, it's it's a very reasonable request. Oh, and did you bring your friends along with you? Did they help you, Kakarot? Not very Saiyan-like of you, but then I suppose Lord Frieza could use some more hired guns above average power levels. It's like, no, we're here to stop you. Stop me? What are you going to do? You're formidable, Kakarot. I'll give you that. But you hardly have neither you or your little posse have the power levels. And all of a sudden, his scouter's going up as Goku and Piccolo are taking off their weighted training clothes. Plus, Tien and Krillin are now just flexing their full power because I'm sure their power is a little suppressed when Raditz meets them. So, there goes, his power was the 300, his 350. The Mechians went all the way to 448, but Kakarot's 700? It's like, we're not letting you do anything to this planet. Goku's got the, I do like Goku's stance, just that whole, they got the fingers there too, just, even no matter what we do, we will stop you. It's like you can. Why are we fighting, Kakarot? We don't have to do this. We are brothers, family. We don't have to be like this. You can just join us. And Frieza would welcome you with open arms. High-class warriors like you aren't as common as you may think, Kakarot. And there's Pumpkin. There's Pumpkin, boo. Say hi, Pumpkin. He's a good boy. He's just been sleeping here the whole time. I just got done watching Doom Patrol season 3, episode 1. Oh man, things just get wacky and wackier with that show, and I love every moment of it. And so he's like, yeah, right. If we let you go, you're just gonna bring more of them here. There's no way we're gonna let you go. I tried to be reasonable, Kakarot, but you sealed your own fate. Very well, come on! And, they all rush in. Now, Krillin and Tien really can't do a huge amount. Neither can Piccolo, admittedly. But Goku actually is almost as 50% as strong as Raditz. Raditz is only suppressed at this point. We know that Raditz's power is thought to be 1,200, but by the Daizenshu, it's actually 1,500. It's kind of like how Vegeta's max power is technically only 18,000. At least that's what they thought. But when he's using the Gatling gun, it's actually like 30,000. So it's a free for all, and they're doing the best they can, Krillin and Tien, to keep up. But unfortunately, they're just not able to really do much. Tien uses multiform. It's multiple bodies. Raditz is doing the best he can to block them or dodge them. But he's also got Piccolo deal with, and he's got Goku. And Goku's, well, at least in terms of his suppressed power, is over half his power. Goku's no slouch. And Goku, honestly, as a straight fighter, is a more skilled fighter than Raditz is. Raditz, from what we can tell, is more of a brawler type. He probably had some mild form of style, but it was mostly brawling. So Goku is struggling, but he's able to get a few hits in. But ultimately, they're all still being pushed back. Eventually, Goku remembers the tail and grabs his tail. It's just, you can't. That's enough. I remember how this used to feel for me. I bet it doesn't feel any good for you. Please, I'm sorry. I'll leave. I promise. Just please, no, don't kill me. So, well, all right, please let me go. I'm not falling for that this time. Pretty please. Well, okay. But Goku does it. Don't do it, Goku. Too late. He just gut checks Goku. Goku, however, as they're all fighting it out, Piccolo loses his arms. Like, I got a technique that might work, but I'm gonna take a few moments to stretch and keep him occupied. Seeing how long he was beating me up for, you guys will be fine. And, Goku does, finally charges Kamehameha, which at power level increase wise actually multiplies his power level by over 2 times. So Goku's power level jumps, and his scouter picks it up too, from 700 to like 1500, which is his full power. And Rad's like, oh crap. And Goku turns to Kamehameha, crap. And, he just blasts it out of the way. Barely. He's barely a blast, but it's, and, Rad's like, you're not kidding me. I see what you were doing. Oh, no, he's going to get away. It's like, solar flare. Boom, and, just, my eyes. And one of Piccolo's eyes got caught. I was like, crap. I can still kind of make it out, but he's still moving. I need him to hold still. It's like, Piccolo, do it. It's like, Goku, no. Masa Kempo. But Masa Kempo, which, special beam cannon. Boom. Again, Goku's taken out. It's like, we can still use the Dragon Balls to bring him back. Is that right? You can have orbs that can grant wishes. I thought they were legends, but it's true. I was like, did you hear that, Nappa? Sure did, Vegeta. Oh, we're going to be paying them a visit. Indeed we are. The Saiyans, Vegeta and Nappa, are well beyond me. You will never beat them. Your victory is in for nothing. And then, Goku's like, sorry, guys. I guess my body kind of moved on. So, don't worry, Goku. We'll bring you back with the Dragon Balls. It'll be fine. Yeah, that's great. I'll see you soon. And then, Roshi and Bulma show, Goku, no! And then Goku's body disappears, and Piccolo, regrows his arm. Seems Kami has something else planned for him. We only have about a year's time from what they said. From what those Saiyans said over their device of theirs. I suggest you all get to trading. Because they're not going to be. Because if what they said is true, these guys are not going to be any pushovers. So are you actually showing concern for us? That's not like you. Like I said, if I'm going to rule this planet, I can't have any interlopers. And if that means having to form alliances, then so be it. We'll see you guys in a year, if you survive. And then, he flies off. And so, obviously, Goku gets the permission to go ahead to train with King Kai. They go train on the lookout. So this begs the question. Training-wise, how did this all work? Because this is pretty much where we're going to leave off for part 2. Chaozu doesn't really matter. I'm going to say he's around 800. He's a little stronger, but not much. But with the multipliers in terms of how strong these guys ultimately got, Tien took about a near 8 times multiplier. Yamcha actually took an 8 times multiplier, a little over. Krillin is a unique case where the Daisenshu puts him at 1200, but when he fires that massive energy attack, it's like 1700-ish. And then on Namek, he's at 1500. So that most likely means the 1200 is a suppressed power level. 15 was his actual, because as far as we know, humans don't get Zenkai. And then 17 was an enhanced power blast. So that means Krillin, with a base power of about 205, ultimately ended up taking an increase of about 7.5-ish. And then Goku was the interesting one. I mean, Piccolo took about 8 times. Goku is the interesting one, because for the longest time, I've always assumed it's been around a 20-some-odd times multiplier, close to it. But one thing I never actually considered until today when I was thinking on the story for this is that because of the Saiyan Zenkai and because of the fact Goku got to keep his body, did he already have a Zenkai in the other? I mean, we never get an answer to this, obviously. There's no Daisenshu for this. But did he ever get a Zenkai because he kept his body already being in the other world? Because we know that because he kept his body but he was dead, he could push his body harder, and because of his Saiyan physiology, he could get stronger that way. And we have evidence for that, like with training for Super Saiyan 3 and stuff like that. So I've never really considered it. For the time being, I'm probably going to say no, but for future videos, that's at least something to think about. We will go for the time being under the idea that Goku still got the times 20. But Goku's a lot stronger in this version, so he can probably already fly naturally. He just normally uses the Nimbus. Even if he can't fly naturally yet, I'm pretty sure he could. Even if he can't fly, he'll still get there a lot quicker, and the training to overcome the gravity with Bubbles and Gregory is going to be a lot quicker as well. So he's going to get there faster. His base training is going to go by quicker. So he's actually going to spend more time training on King Kai's than he did initially. Ultimately, though, I'm still going to say he is going to take, roughly speaking, a times 20 power boost when it's all said and done. That would put him at base power level of 14,000, which is significant. And I think this allows him to basically use Kaioken's up to the next level. So basically, his body can actually handle a triple Kaioken, despite King Kai still probably warning him. I told him not to go past a double. But his body can actually handle the triple. And he can go all the way up to the, like, naturally, without hurting himself. And he can go all the way up to the fifth Kaioken. Basically, the fifth for him is going to be like the fourth was. Everything just kind of goes up one. Piccolo is the next one up. And Piccolo, because he doesn't have to focus on Gohan at all, can basically just devote himself to training. And if he took an 8 times multiplier while still teaching Gohan, I have no doubt he can take a minimum of 10 to maybe even a 15 times multiplier. We'll even that out at about a 12. So 12 times his base. That puts Piccolo then at, roughly speaking, a almost 4,900, which again is pretty solid. In fact, honestly, for even numbers, let's put him at around 5,000. I think that's fair. So 5,000 for Piccolo, which already makes him as strong as Goku was when he showed up. Then for the rest of them, I don't see anything changing with the training they did, except they could train a bit harder, but not by much. So I don't see anything about their multipliers really changing, except for the fact they're all at different levels of power. So Tien getting in here 8 times, well, why don't we even just round up to the 8? Puts his power level at a solid, 24, then you add the other 400, 2,800, so 2,800. Yamcha's being at 250 and taking around an 8 times as well, puts him at a solid 2,000. And Krillin's being at 3,000 and taking also an almost 8, about a 7 times multiplier, put him at about 2,100, which would make sense. Krillin, even though, Krillin was still always naturally stronger than Yamcha, so it made sense. Which also lends credence to the idea that 1,500 was Krillin's actual power level, not 12. And like I said, Chaozu's at about 800. So, they wish Goku back. Unfortunately, they still mess up, and they have to wait for Goku. But Goku gets there a lot sooner because he's at 14,000, and if he had to, can do a brick cock and just pop over there, gets a quick Senzu, heads over to the battlefield. Over at the battlefield real quick, Chaozu, I think, still doesn't make it. In fact, I'm also going to add Yamcha onto that list. Even though he actually can put up a decent fight, the whole Cyberman thing, it doesn't kill him, but he's deeply injured, and Nappa takes the opportunity to take his ass out. And I think because Chaozu also, but he still gets probably like a decent hit on, Nappa, probably gut checks him, just like, ugh. I was like, ah. And, but Tien gets, Yamcha gets the energy while Chaozu self-destructs. Yeah, Nappa's pretty miffed. But Piccolo has actually been able to keep Piccolo. He's still got a couple easy hits on Piccolo who wasn't expecting. But Piccolo, when fully powered up, finally is able to even out the playing field as Tien is getting ready for one major solid hit in on Nappa like he did prior. Piccolo and him are duking it out, and he's actually beating on Nappa. Nappa though powers up to his full power. And here's the thing: this isn't official, but it does make sense from what you see. I've always been under the belief that Nappa's full power level is actually 7,500. The reason for that is I've seen a few sources that may indicate this. Goku was laying waste to him, but he did power up ultimately, and Goku was still holding the edge, but he did even out the playing field a bit. And Goku wasn't able to wasn't going to be able to catch him in time before he wasted Krillin and Gohan. And that's why he had to put the Kaioken on. So I think Nappa's actual full power is around somewhere in that range. And that's what we're going to be training for this. So then he powers up. Piccolo's on the back burner again. Krillin, though, is able to help out, use the Destructo Disc. almost cleaves Nappa, does cleave Nappa too. Vegeta does tell him to get out of the way, but he takes actually a bigger like cut. Like his arm is now kind of useless. Still there, but useless. Because he pretty much just like cut halfway through the bicep. So he cut like a tendon, maybe even the bone. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Get out of the way. You want it? You know, now there's a beam struggle with him. He charges up as quick as he can, as powerful as he can, a special beam cannon, which does kind of start to cleave through the blast, but unfortunately, or pierce through the blast, which is not enough. And he's about to get wasted, which you're like, oh dear Lord, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Until finally Goku shows up, just boom, just manhandles it aside. It's like, that's enough. It's like, looks like he's here, Vegeta. So it does. And it's like, Goku. Whoa. Hey, guys. And even Tien, who has been charging that final blow, is like, Goku, you're here. That's a relief. Where's Yamcha? Where's Chaozu? Yamcha, Chaozu. You guys have been fighting long enough. Take it easy, Ramir. Are you insane? You can't take this guy on by yourself. Go. Okay, and he's about to say, I don't care how strong you've been. All of a sudden, he just senses the level of power coming off. And Goku's like, whoa. Because Goku suppressed was keeping his power at roughly a little over half of what it actually was. So his power level is probably around 8,000 at this point. And, he's powered up and say, so, we finally meet Kakarot. And that's where we're ending part 1 today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you folks later.